Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, I'm John and I'm back here on my channel on YouTube, Musings of a Marine. And guess what? I kind of got out of action there for a while back in October, and that's why you haven't seen any videos in a while. Sadly, what happened was my mother-in-law in the Philippines died, and my wife and I had to go over there for 4 weeks. And I kind of got out of following the NFL for a little while, and I didn't have the ability to do any videos like this, so I kind of dropped the whole thing for a little bit. I did notice a lot of people weren't really all that interested in what I had to say about the NFL anyways. So, as I had planned on doing anyways at the end of the season, was to change the format a little bit, and that's what I'm going to do here now. I made this channel for myself. I'm a Marine, and I like to talk, and I like to tell people what I'm passionate about. And the NFL was certainly one of them. But the season's over. Congratulations to the Patriots. Makes me almost puke saying that, but nonetheless, they earned it. And they're there, and they're the champions. And one good thing is at least their quarterback played at the University of Michigan. So that's one positive. I also want to mention one last thing. How about those Indianapolis Colts, huh? They were 1-5 when I left for the Philippines. They finished 10-6, won a playoff game, and now the world is back to normal because the Colts, once again, are the best team in the AFC South. And let anybody try and tell you otherwise, they're wrong. Because let me tell you what's going to happen next season. The Colts don't have any significant free agents that they got to worry about re-signing. They are $120 million under the salary cap right now. And they have 2 second-round picks in the upcoming draft, including the second pick of the second round. Thank you, Jets, for that. So anyways, that's what's going on in the NFL. But the season's over, and it's time to move on to something that I'm even more passionate about, something more near and dear to my heart. And for those of you who know me, who watch this video, you know what that is. It's the Philippines. So we're going to call this video Philippines Part 1. I'm going to give you a little introduction as to why the Philippines means so much to me. Well, obviously, being a Marine, one can surmise that I probably went over there when I was on active duty, and that is true. I did take 2 vacations over to the Philippines when I was stationed in Okinawa back in 1984 in August and June of 1985. I spent 14 days between those 2 trips in Angeles and 3 days in Olongapo and 3 days in Baguio. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, this guy's married to a Marine. That's why he went over there for his mother-in-law's death. Well, married to a Filipino, rather. But yes, that's true. However, I do want to mention that for the record, I met my wife here in Michigan, not over there, okay? And not in one of those cities. So no, she wasn't a bar girl, not an LBFM. Nice, good Christian Catholic woman who I met here in Michigan, okay? So, we'll put an end to any thought of that. But yeah, I did go over there, and I will not deny the fact that the treatment that I got from the young ladies over there back in the mid-'80s certainly made me consider marrying a Filipina down the line. And because of my 2 years overseas, it was no surprise to anybody that I married an Asian woman. So, that's kind of how it all got rolling. We don't have bases over there anymore, just for the record. If you didn't know, a little history lesson. In 1991, a volcano called Mount Pinatubo erupted, spilled all kinds of ash all over Clark Air Force Base, Subic Naval Base. We had planned on closing those bases anyways, but it happened a little bit quicker than intended as a result. So we were out of there. Subic City and Olongapo are not bad cities at all anymore. There's no sleaze to them like there used to be. As a matter of fact, Subic City has a form of SeaWorld over there, and it is actually a nice family resort town now. Angeles, on the other hand, well, for those of you who have been over there and know Fields Avenue, it's still alive and well in the same fashion it was in the mid-'80s. A little more expensive now, but nonetheless, that's still going on over there. Not 2 places that I ever plan on visiting. Would love to go back to Baguio again, though. My wife's never been there, and I'd love to visit there. Beautiful city. It's called the vacation capital of the Philippines. It's up in the mountains. Very beautiful scenery. So maybe someday we'll get back there. So how did I meet my wife, and how did the Philippines become my number one passion? Well, it's very, very simple. I married a Filipino, and I've been over to the country with her 5 times. So it's been a total of 7 trips that I've made over to that country. Now, my wife immigrated to Michigan because she was working for a family in Windsor, Ontario, right across the river from Detroit, and they moved to Michigan, and then I met her here. So that's how that happened. But 4 years after we were married, she wanted to visit home, and obviously I wanted to meet her family. So in 2002, we took a trip to her hometown of Iloilo City. Okay, now where's Iloilo City, you ask? It's about dead center in the middle of the country on an island called Panay. It's on the southern coast, and it is a booming town, let me tell you. It is often voted the best city to live in the country. And while I haven't been to a ton of cities in the Philippines, it's certainly the best place that I've ever been. It is growing in leaps and bounds. The Mega World real estate company has built a bunch of hotels and a mall and condominiums all over the place. And we even bought one of the condos over there just to have a second little residence and a place to beat the heat, and maybe even rent out to people if we're not over there. We had a house built there in 2005, so every time we go over there now, only once have we gone over there and had to stay in a hotel. The rest of the time we were able to stay in our own home, so that's kind of nice. My wife's family looks out for the place when we're not there. So it all started in 2002, and I went over there, and they say Iloilo is the city of love. Now, I don't know how it got that moniker, but I'll tell you one thing. I absolutely love going there, and I absolutely love my wife's family too. And they think pretty highly of me as well, which is nice. One of the great things about my 2 first trips to the Philippines back in the 80s was I knew a little bit more to expect than perhaps the average Westerner that goes over to that country. I knew people were poor. I never had any problem with my wife sending money or boxes of stuff over there because I understood. You know, us Americans have it better than any other place in the world. And if you don't believe that, you need to get off your butt and do a little bit of world traveling, and you'll find that to be true. So anyways, we went over there in 2002, and I met her family, and it were really great people. But something else also happened. I met 2 young nephews that I have, Christian and Peter. Now, in the Philippines, everybody has a nickname, it seems. So Christian and Peter are known as Baba and Pito to most people. And I just fell in love with these 2 little boys. Well, they're not boys anymore. They're grown men. And it's so cool that me going over there every 4 years, it seemed, watching how they would grow and mature to become the good young men that they are today. And the nice thing about it is it's not uncle-nephew relationship so much anymore. And it kind of never was between me and them. It was always, you know, they were my best friends over there. And Baba in particular is still my buddy. Him and I are both the youngest in our families. We were both born July 18, so we share the same birthday, and our personalities are very similar too. Very outgoing, very adventurous. So that's how it all came about. Okay, so we're going to call this chapter Philippines Part 1. There's so many other things I can share with you about this country that I love so much. And my wife and I do hope to retire there someday. Obviously, the cost of living is cheaper. Is much warmer there than Michigan, needless to say. Perhaps sometimes too much. But it really is a growing city over there. There really isn't much in the Philippines that you can't do that you can do in the United States of America. And you just got to be adventurous and find it. It's out there. So that's how we're going to change everything up here on Musings of a Marine. This is my new topic, and we're going to be discussing this for a while. And there will be plenty more videos to come. I may be having some time off from work for a while because of a surgery. We'll see how that goes. I'll keep you up to date on that, and that'll give me an opportunity to talk even more about the Philippines. But there's one last thing that I want to say in regards to that, and we'll close out this video. Not only do I love my wife's family over there, but I embraced a lot of the culture. I actually watch more Filipino shows and movies than I do American movies. They're more clean cut. The women in them, typically, there's always at least one or two who are absolutely gorgeous. So that's a plus as well. But it goes beyond that. It's just the, shall you say, the cleanliness of the movies, perhaps. You know, Hollywood's always trying to push the envelope. And in the Philippine entertainment business, they're heading a little bit in that direction too. But if you want to watch some clean-cut, wholesome stuff, and I know that sounds crazy coming from a Marine, but let me tell you, you grow up, you move on past all of that kind of stuff. And now, I just want to see some nice family shows, some nice family movies, and there's plenty of them over there. And there's plenty of theaters. But hey, if you still like American movies, you can watch them over there too. So I've embraced the culture. I've embraced the pop culture over there to a degree as well. And really, I feel like I really fit in over there. And I'm very comfortable in my skin over there. It even amazes my wife. She says that I have more fun with her family than mine, and that's probably true. But I feel quite a connection with them. So anyways, that's going to be the end of this segment. We'll call this Philippines Part 1. We'll move on to Philippines Part 2 in a week or so. But thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in here and allowing me to come on whatever you're watching this, this video on. And I just want to say that it's good to be back, and it's good to be able to talk about something that really is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to promote these videos a little bit more, and hopefully you enjoy them. Take care, everybody. Semper Fi.